This is the plaintiff, Angelina Griffin. She says the defendant, her ex-sister-in-law, owes her for caring for her kids. And no matter what she does, she can't seem to collect. She doesn't understand because the woman bought herself a new car, buys shopping bags full of new clothes, and she couldn't even get Christmas presents for her kids. She has no other choice but to sue for the $2,480 she's owed. This is the defendant, Yvonne Macon. She says the plaintiff did watch her kids for a short period of time, but she was very dissatisfied with her services. She paid her for the work she did. Then next thing she knows, she gets served with papers by the court and is being sued for $2,000. Hello? Let's face reality, please. She's accused of dissing an ex-sister-in-law.
Angelina Griffin?
Hello.
You're suing Yvonne Macon?
Yes, ma'am.
For $2,480 in child care fees that you say she owes you and has not paid you. Tell me what's going on.
Well, it's $1,980. I'm suing for $500 for pain and suffering. So that's how it comes to that amount.
Okay.
But I started babysitting for Yvonne on October 27th of 2011. There was a situation that was going on where her daughter, something was going on at the daycare where her daughter was already at. Her mom was upset about it. She told her she didn't want the kids there anymore or she would call child protection. So Yvonne was like, well, who's gonna watch my kids? So me and my ex-mother-in-law, we talked and I said—
Because her mother is your ex-mother-in-law?
Yes.
Okay.
I was married to her brother for 10 years.
And you live next door to them?
They live next door to me.
Okay.
Yes. So I started watching the kids for Yvonne. It started out she was supposed to work from 6:30 in the morning to like 2:30 in the afternoon, but she picked up a second job. So she worked that job.
How old are the kids?
2, 5, and 14 now.
Oh, my Lord.
But I didn't watch the 14-year-old. I only watched the younger 2 girls.
Okay.
I did the daycare for her. Like I said, she ended up picking up another job, which was from 4 to 11. Okay, so we started doing the daycare. Yvonne, it took some time for me because I had to do the necessary paperwork to become an informal daycare provider, which is, they call it that because you're not certified and licensed. So I went and took care of all that.
What are you talking about? You started doing her daycare, but there was an understanding that someone else was going to be paying for it, as in the government, as opposed to her?
Yes, ma'am. She pays a portion.
Okay, explain that to me. So there is a program that she can apply to that will do what? Pay how much of your daycare?
Actually, they pay maybe like 75% of it.
Okay, and you had used that program before?
Yes.
But every time you switch a provider, you have to apply for that provider to be the one.
Correct.
So you filled out some paperwork.
Yes, ma'am.
And what, in the meantime, who was going to pay you what?
Well, Yvonne pays a portion.
A portion.
It's portion pay.
But you're not, I don't know if you're not understanding me or if that
Maybe
is
I'm
your
not.
agreement. So she would pay what? How much an hour?
Well, $6 an hour is what I was charged.
Okay, but she wasn't going to pay $6 an hour. She doesn't have the money for that. That's why she qualifies for the program.
Right.
So until the program kicked in, you were going to accept what?
$2.50 an hour.
So go on.
So we were I did the daycare. I asked Yvonne for her pay. I got my paperwork from the Child Resource Network. Yvonne, all she had to do, because her case was already active and she already had another daycare provider, was switch the paperwork over and take the paperwork I signed into her caseworker.
Yeah, she had to get you approved. And what happened?
Yvonne never took that paperwork in. I have no idea why she didn't take it in.
I didn't take the paperwork in. It was just too much drama. I was always getting phone calls from my mother. She won't take the kids. She says she worked 40 hours this week. She ain't messing with them. I'm like, okay.
Wait. So there would be a whole week that she didn't watch her kids?
Well, no, I didn't say the whole week. Like, my mother will call me
I don't see how she can work 40 hours if she's taking care of your kids from 6:30 to 11 p.m., so I'm not sure what you're saying.
Not 6:30 in the morning. That would only happen on Saturdays, Your Honor. I work from 7 a.m. on Saturday to 11. I had 2 jobs at the time, and one of them was only 4 hours a week.
Okay. And then, so you ask her to watch your kids, and why don't you submit the paperwork? Because I would assume you were submitting the paperwork the day after she fills it out. Why is
Well, not the day after she filled it out. I was supposed to recertify, so I would have to submit the paperwork then. But it was all of
What's recertify mean? You have to prove that you're still in need?
Right.
Okay.
So basically, when I went to go do that is when I was supposed to turn in the paperwork. But it was so many issues I was just like, forget it, I'm gonna take them back.
What were the issues?
There's a few instances where my mother's calling me on the phone, Angie won't take the kids, you need to call her. She said she worked 40 hours, she's not working no more hours this week. I'm like, okay, won't be dealing with this instance for much longer because I was in the process of buying me a car. So when I bought the car, I just took the kids back to the other daycare provider.
Okay, but she wants to get paid for the times that she watched your kid, and your defense to paying her is what?
Well, I've given Ms. Griffin money out of my pocket several times. $40 one instance. I had to borrow some money from my mother to pay her 1 week, but I've given her money out of my pocket like almost every week.
Okay.
My other daycare provider does not make that much a month, and she's certified through New York State. They only give her $244 a month.
For both kids?
For both kids.
A month or a week?
A month.
Can I see documentation of what you just said? How can anybody watch kids for
a month?
Wow. How do you even find somebody to watch your kids the kind of hours we're talking about for that much?
Well, it's a lot of other programs that they go through. Like they get a food program. It's other programs they go through, so they have other money coming in also once they become certified.
So what were the problems that you had with her? So on one occasion or more occasions, she'd say, I'm not taking your kids?
It was more than one instance, but like I said, my mother doesn't want to get involved in this because this is like a family thing. It was more than one instant with the mother and the phone calls at work. I'm being screamed at while I'm at work. Also, my son has called me a couple times and said, Ma, it's 8:30 at night and the girls are here.
And you weren't coming in until 11?
I wouldn't get home until 12:30 yet.
So she would drop the kids off at your house to be in the care of the, how old?
He's 14 now.
Who would otherwise have been there alone? And now had to take care of two children who were how old again?
2 and 5.
2 and 5, which I'm sure he found to be a handful.
Oh, yes.
So he would call you and tell you she's dropped off the kid?
Yes.
Were you dropping off the girls to be taken care of by the 14-year-old?
No, ma'am. What happened was it would be 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. Yvonne's not being honest when she would get home. Those kids have to go to school in the morning. She would come home, Your Honor, walk past my house, go in the house, wake up her 14-year-old son, and have him come over and pick her daughters up. Now, it was a couple of times where I felt Mulani needed to be up for school in the morning, so it was like 11 o'clock. She's supposed to be on her way home. I would take them next door, they would be going to bed. I bathed them. I clothed them, washed their clothes. She's not being honest. And
Have you seen, when did you take the kids away?
I took them, what was it, November 31st,
No, she didn't
30th?
take them.
How did it happen?
What happened was her mother called me on a Saturday, which was December 3rd. She asked me was I going to watch the kids, and I wasn't going to do it because I was kind of peed off because she didn't get the paperwork in. So because I know her mom just got off of work, I said, okay, I'll do it. Her mom tried to pull the same thing Sunday. I said, no, I'm not doing it because Yvonne didn't take her paperwork in. Why didn't you take the paper?
How much did she pay you? Well, I don't think she wanted you to watch her kids. I think that's what was going on. So she doesn't want to have to keep switching. So I guess she already had in her head that she was going to take the kids away from you and put them back with the old one because she already knew she was buying a car.
But
you don't buy a car. You don't wake up one day and buy a car. You're planning it. So really, the answer is that she had already made a decision she was bringing her kids back to the other daycare, and now she could because she had a car, and apparently the other daycare is somewhere else. It's not convenient and next door. I got the writing on the wall. I don't know how you didn't.
She decided
once you knew she took them back to the other daycare, I could see what was happening. She didn't want to put in extra paperwork and switch back again. And she already planned it, that she was going to start bringing the kids back to the old daycare once she had that car. So how much did she pay you?
She gave me $50.
And that's it?
Yes.
Okay. How do you come up, though, with $2,500?
No, $2,500. It was $2,480. Well, close enough.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, more or less. Your breakdown is $500 for 5 kids at $100 each Christmas presents that you weren't able to get. Mm-hmm. Explain that.
That was my pain and suffering. Because had Yvonne turned in her paperwork, Your Honor, I would have got a check December 17th, which me and my husband were planning on that. Okay. And like I said, I have a letter and
but you're suing for that, plus you're suing for what you feel your wages should be.
Right, because
then you would get a double recovery, right? That wouldn't be right. All right, but tell me now how it is that you feel that it's $1,980 that you're entitled to in wages when I can see that the other daycare worker who's certified doesn't make that by a long stretch.
Well, at $2.50 an hour, 8 hours a day, watching Sarai from 8 in the morning until 2 to 3 in the afternoon, and then again from 4 to 11.
But then what was your plan? If this is what you're supposed to be making before you get the paperwork approved. You were going to go from making $1,980 a month to making $244 a month once you got approved? I mean, you see how maybe, because watch this. Did you agree to pay her $2.50 an hour?
I did tell her that I would agree that.
Okay, so then how many hours do you owe her? Because if you just paid $50, how is it you're going to pay?
Actually, I don't know how many hours I owe her because I wasn't even working 40 hours technically when the kids were there at this job. I just started working 48 hours last month because I just got
How many hours do you owe her? See, this is really messy. You guys are really messy. You have nothing in writing. You have nobody has.
We never had a meeting on mine.
Okay, but then how many hours do you claim or admit that you owe her?
It would be, oh, Lord have mercy.
You don't even know. You don't know what you paid and what you haven't paid. You got a car now, so you don't care.
Yeah, she never gave me a receipt for the money.
Your Honor, she is telling a lie.
So does this plaintiff have a duty to keep those kids until the parent comes back, even if the parent's late?
I think definitely. I mean, emergencies happen, and I think the daycare person needs to be responsible.
Okay. So what if the parent was supposed to come back at 5 o'clock, and at midnight the parent still isn't there? What does the daycare worker do?
I think they should just take care of the kids.
Just take care of the kids no matter how long. You agree?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enoif. Going inside the courtroom.
I don't even think I owe her $100, but
how do you figure?
I really don't think I owe her $100.
If you're not working 40 hours a week, how much are you working?
Before I started working the 48 hours a week, I was only working 36 hours.
So let's say you were working 36 hours a week. She was watching her kids for how long?
For a month.
For a month. Okay. And then you say, yeah, I agreed to pay her $250, right? So you owe her some bucks. So if I do the math, it's perilously close to exactly what the other person at $250 was going to be making. That's why I don't understand how you got to your math here. But I'm going to add a few hours for travel time.
I was trying to explain it to you, Your Honor.
I know. But you know what? Next time you want to explain that you're entitled to $2,000, give me something in writing about that.
What about my letters from my witnesses?
Yeah, let's see those. In fact, according to you, you used to take care of her.
Yes. She's lived with me several times. I bought her clothes, her shoes, kept her hair done. Just recently, she was living with me not too long ago.
That was a couple years ago. And y'all put me out.
Yeah. And tell her why we put you out.
I was pregnant.
My husband was tired of you sleeping on our couch.
Okay, well.
Tearing our couch up, which you sleeping on right now next door.
Stop. Do you see the kids now?
Well, yes.
How do you see them now?
I go next door.
To her mom's? Mm-hmm. When she's not there?
Sometime.
Are the kids close to you?
Yeah, they're real close to me.
Were they close to you before this too?
Yes, I named her daughter. Bread, that's where she got her name from me.
Okay, one letter's from your husband, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the other letter's from whom?
A friend of mine who I've known for 16 years.
Right. She doesn't know what hours you work though. And your husband says it was supposed to be from 6:30 to 2:30, but it was more than that. All right. This is the part where we do a little rough justice. And it's only rough because that's where you guys left me by being so informal about your arrangements, okay? It becomes very difficult when, you say, yeah, I'm supposed to pay her $250 an hour. Yeah, I paid her here and there. Yeah, I owe her some money, I mean, that becomes difficult. So based on your assertion and your admission that you agreed to pay her $2.50 an hour, I am going to order you to pay her an additional $500. $500 verdict for the plaintiff.
Okay, so the plaintiff's right here. Are you satisfied with what you got coming out of this?
No.
Well, you thought you should have gotten more.
Yeah,
right?
She's a liar. She's lying. She got her boyfriend beating the mess out of her. She got child protection in her. That's the reason why the kids were at my house in the first place. Child protection was all in her business.
You two are so close. I mean, family. There was family.
She a backstabber.
Now
She
you're
don't
next
value
door
family.
neighbors and
She don't value
everything.
family. I've been living next door all this time. I'm
Right.
continue to live next door.
And you see each other all the time?
Every day.
How is this affected?
Every day.
You hang out together?
No.
No?
I don't go next door to see her.
No?
No.
All right, so that's it between the two of you?
Yes, sir.
I think? All
Yep.
right. All right,
Thank
thank
you.
you for stopping.
There you go.
All right, so come on in here. You're reacting to everything she's saying, and come on in. What?
I just can't deal with the lies no more. That's why I don't talk to nobody. I stay to myself.
You two are too
Listen,
tied together.
Well,
Looks like,
she came into our life at an early age, just like she's saying she took care of me. My mother took care of her. So I just don't deal with the drama. I stay to myself. I go to work. That's it. I heard to do.
You're dying to back out of here, aren't you?
I can't wait to get back to Buffalo.
Okay. Okay, Harvey.
Let me just say, I think it's real clear that the daycare worker cannot return those kids to the house, cannot deposit those kids with anyone other than the parents, even if the parents are late. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.